It's a moment I've been waiting for since August this year when the refurbishment of the Canary Room started. It's episode 22, the final episode of season 3. Welcome back to my new look Canary Room. Welcome back to the show and welcome back to my new look Canary Room. I am absolutely delighted with the cages, delighted to be back in the Canary Room for the show today. Of course, we must start with a thank you, a huge thank you to Debbie Stout, to Dan Tonio, to Alan Cesar, to Beethoven Dellison, to Michael Burling, to Rob Bone, and to Martin Gentles for their support to the channel. Thanks very much indeed. And a massive thank you to everybody who subscribed to the channel. We started season 3 on YouTube way back in January 2020, and since then we've gained an additional 5,000 subscribers. So my thanks to everyone who has subscribed. If you haven't yet, hit the subscribe and the notification button and you'll get a notification of when the new shows go live. So the eagerly awaited Canary Room update. We began work on the new Canary Room with the outside flights way back in August. And as you can see from some of the footage here, it was a sunny day and we were putting the flights together. And in essence, all we've done is we've utilised the gap between the garage and the Canary Room, and we've put a brick built back on that. We put a top and a front on. We double wired the top and we've covered it over in parts, and we put some sort of green garden screening over as well, just to give the birds a little bit of protection. And we can see that we've got a pair of chaffinches in there, so a new addition for me in the Canary Room. I've never owned chaffinches before. As we go throughout the show today, you'll see sneakily a few more additions in the room as well. But we'll wait until 2021 to do a full introduction to them. So the outside flights, that was our first rebuild of the Canary Room, our reconfiguration. And then, of course, the cages came. And the cages, I'm absolutely delighted. A massive thank you to Dave Rands for all of the work that he's done on the cages. I've got 60 new breeding cages in the Canary Room. They're all 16-inch fronts, so bigger than my previous cages. The main block was 16-inch fronts, and then a single cage of 14-inch fronts, and the blocks here were 14-inch fronts now. They're 16 inches. They've all got drawers. They're all of plastic construction, so they are really super easy to maintain. So without further ado, let's look at some filming I did when the new cages came. It's early on a Saturday morning. I'm not in a check shirt, which is a little bit strange, isn't it, for the Canary Room, but I am waiting for the first delivery of my new cages. So coming in 2 lots, cages, 60 cages arriving today, and so they're going to take probably the weekend really to put in place. And then the flight cages, I'm still waiting on a delivery date for, and that will be the complete sort of transformation of the Canary Room, which has been a long time coming, but I'm very much looking forward to it. So signing off for now. I'll try and catch some footage of them being delivered, and then maybe some footage of the install, although I suspect I might have to have a bleeper for that, but I will most definitely get footage of them in situ. Signing off for now. Wow, what a day. New cages are in. You can see the quads behind me there, looking fantastic. I'm absolutely delighted with them. Still more work to do in the back of the Birdroom, Canary Room there. There's the sixes, so they're nearly 100 inches long. I'm so tired, I can't work out what that is in feet, but it's a lot. The cage fronts are 16 inches by 10 high. Massive thanks to Dave Rands for delivering them. I've spent the time sort of cleaning down the room, although it doesn't look like it, and there's still a load to do. But for tonight, it's 6 o'clock now. I'm going to call it a day. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to showing you all the cages. I'm really looking forward to getting the new flights in and finishing the Canary Room. And I'm looking forward to next season already. Signing off for now. I think it's time for a beer. Cheers, everyone. It was a long old day, taking out the old cages, moving the birds around, bringing the birds together, and putting them back in their new cages. But it was a day that was, long but incredibly rewarding, and delighted with the finished look. We can see here I've got the fife hens. One of the reasons really for doing the cages, my other block was over 10 years old. And it needed painting again, and I'm too old to be painting cages. One of the beauties with this configuration that I've got here is that, all of the cages can be divided off, so as we move into the breeding season, I'll be singling the hens and the cockbirds off in them. But I can open them up to any configuration, so I can open them up to threes, so I've got treble breeders, I can open them up to doubles, or I can open them the full length as I've got now, and sixes. And that flexibility was really one of the main motivations for changing up the cages rather, in the Canary Room. So this block is here, the main block is a 6. The block to my left, that's a 4. But again, that gives me greater flexibility than I had, so I can open them up as a 4. I can single them off as individuals, I can have a treble and a single, or I can have 2 doubles. So really thought long and hard about what I needed from a cage configuration. And then one of the main things you'll notice is the flights here behind me. These flights are 2 meters 20 long. These were made by John Aidney. And these are 2 meters 20 long. They're 50 centimeters high. There's 4 identical blocks on top of each other. At the moment, you'll see the top block here. They're housing some new additions to the Canary Room. So for 2021, we will be developing again a small stud of exhibition Norwich canaries. So very, very much looking forward to that. A real challenge awaits, I think, with the Norwich, but something I'm really looking forward to. So I've got the Norwich at the moment, and I've opened this flight cage. It's giving them 50 centimetres high, and it's the full width. So it's 2 meters 20 long. And again, one of the things I've looked to do is to try and build the flexibility in these cages. They've all got drawers. I can access all the drawers, They don't. There's a recess here on both sides of the Canary Room, so there's a little bit of space to play with, which means I can get in behind as well. It gives the British a little bit of privacy too. So I can single these off into really, good size cages that certainly the redpolls will enjoy. Our lovely little redpolls. So hopefully their new environment will mean that there'll be less disappointment next year. But it's the redpolls after all, so there's bound to be disappointment, isn't there? But one of the other things I can open them up into doubles, and for a number of the birds that I've got coming on next year of the British, and you'll notice in the natives, I call them British. There's northern Siberian goldfinches. I've got some siskins in as well. I've got the redpolls, the mutation redpolls. We can see those coming in from Kenny Masterman, so we bought a couple of visual pied birds to go with the split pied birds that we bred here. So those birds are, they'll have doubles, they can have singles. It just gives us that flexibility in the breeding season. If I think about the siskins, I've got a mutation siskin cock and a normal hen. The siskin cock bird, they are renowned for being really, really fidgety and really anxious and really basically bloody annoying when it comes to pestering the hen on the nest. So we are going to be able to separate them off, and that's a good thing. We have a linnet cock. I did bring a linnet in early on, and I let it go. I wasn't certain that it was a cock, and I must say actually a huge thank you to a gentleman in Scotland. You know who you are, for supplying me with a very, very nice linnet cock, which I've just got in a single cage at the moment. I'm just going to try and steady him off, and you'll see behind me here perhaps that there are 3 native bullfinches, 2 hens and a cockbird. The condition of them, spot on. So we've got birds from Scotland, we've got birds from Ireland, we've got some in our wire cages, because obviously we've got the Norwich, we've got some British, we've got some coloured canaries as well, we've got some really lovely red-black grey wings in from a good friend of the show, Julian, so really looking forward to breeding with them next year. They are absolutely stunning. Really, really looking forward to breeding with them, and hopefully they'll help me as well with the fifes to rear some of the birds. So that's really what we've done in the Canary Room. Believe it or not, because of the configuration, I've got 16 individual cages, flight cages on this back wall, and as I say, they're 20 odd inches, 24 inches long individually, I think, and 50 centimeters high. These cages here, these are 16 inches by 13 inches high, and then I've got the wire cages as well. So all in the Canary Room, they're on 92 cages now if I was to single them all off. But it's given me a real flexibility, and it's given me flight cages too, and a flight outside, which is something I've been really excited about over many, many years. Of course, the plans don't stop there. Of course they don't. So I am in the middle of, and maybe it will make a future episode of building some flight cages as well to go in the garage. So the garage houses lots of things now for the Canary Room, lots of equipment, lots of kit. But what I'd also like to do is put some flight cages in there. Essentially, I am obviously going to have a number of spare cages in the Canary Room in the breeding season. But as we see in, season 4 of the show, I've got big plans for my fifes. I've got a Norwich stud to develop as well. We've got some coloured canaries, so it's going to be really important that we've got extra space to house, hopefully, all of the young. It's fair to say 2020 has been a year most of us will like to forget, but let's end it on a high. The birds obviously didn't get their opportunity to go out on the show bench as they would have done. I replaced that with the on the road, the Birdroom tours, and the feedback to those has been incredible. So thank you very much for everybody who's taken the time. They will continue in 2021 as well. So we will get back to Dave Rands. We will get back to Keith Ferry. We'll get back to the Kendall Stud. We'll go and see Steve and Bob again of Yorkie Supreme, and you just try stopping me getting back and seeing Julian's Canary Birdroom to see his incredible mosaics and also his Siberian goldfinches that he's taken on. But look, we did manage to get a show in, a virtual show run by the team of Natives and Norwich. So massive congratulations to Mac Finch, to Dave Coughlin, to all the admins there, Oliver Crowther, sorry Ollie, did a great job there as well. And what we've got now is we've got a little bit of a special on the road trip to that show, a virtual on the road if you will. So a massive congratulations to all of the winners there in the Norwich. The first Norwich was owned and benched by a gentleman by the name of Darren Munden. Then Achim Spalek had second, third and fifth. Darren was in fourth. Darren was also in seventh, and Michel De Filippo was in number 6, so very well done. In the any other variety canary, so that's everything that wasn't Norwich, the winner was Bill Clare, well done Bill. Alan White, then Leonard and Maher were third. Good friend Julian was in fourth. A gentleman by the name of Matheld was fifth with his best fife-in show, so absolutely thrilled to take the best fife award and also fifth best AOV. Darren Ashpole in sixth, and another good friend Cyril Guildea in seventh with his border. Mules and hybrids, Stacey Turner took the top award. Richard Wilson second and third and fourth. And Clint Cilia was in fifth. And for the Natives, Darren Bond took the top award. Jason Coventry, the second award. Third was Wim Gillison. Fourth was Roger Tippett. Fifth, Graham Beck. Sixth, Chris Jones. And seventh, Spike Fairchild. The overall winner, the best in show, was Darren Bond with a stunning greenie. So well done, Darren. Well done for all of the lads there at Natives and Norwich for putting the show on. And a huge thanks on behalf of them to Dotty Reel, but also on behalf of us for Dotty and Avian World Dublin for all the work and support that Dotty's given that particular Facebook group over the last 12 months. So really appreciated. You know, the fancy fortunately has a number of people who put more in than they take out, and Dotty's very much one of those characters. So on behalf of all fanciers, I think, Dotty, thanks for your support for that show, and thanks for everything that you do. So as we head towards the end of the show this year, it leads me to reflect on a year when for the first time we bred Siberian goldfinches in the Canary Room. The really good breeding season with the fifes, a strong breeding season with the borders, and of course some mosaic canaries as well. It was lovely to get, and we've still got a couple of split-pied red poles. So they're going to be paired with the birds we got from Kenny Masterman. And it leads me really to think about, next year and what next year brings. So the linnet cock with maybe a bullfinch hen for a bit of muling. developing and competing with the Norwich, putting them on the show bench, and also trying to do the same with the coloured canaries, so the grey wings, the agate mosaics, and the likes too. Fives are and will remain my first love, and I will be retaining more hens this year than I would normally do, in an attempt, in a hope really, to come back strongly on the show scene for 2021. The Canary Room will be back in 2021. The format of the show will be tweaked slightly, but all of the favourite features that you hopefully, or you've told me you've enjoyed in 2020, will return. It leaves me to thank everybody who has contributed to the show this year, both in submissions of content. My thanks to everybody for the Birdroom visits, to Steve Dominy, to Bob Pepper, to Julian of Julian's Canary Birdroom, to Gerald Spencer, to the family Kendall, to Keith Ferry, Kenny Masterman, and of course the Gloucester man himself, Dave Rands. In 2021, we will make return visits to a number of those fanciers, and that's something very much to look forward to. We'll also go and see Donald Skinner-Reid, we'll see Richard Knowles and the work he's doing with the London Fancy, and British man Bernard Williams. So we've got a number of visits already lined up for 2021, and I'm sure we'll squeeze a few more in. Thanks to everyone who has donated to the show in 2020. It's been enabled me really to stay on air. This is a hobby, and the show hopefully gets to showcase this amazing hobby that we have, and if it's done anything to attract more fanciers to it, then fantastic. I don't run the channel for profit. I don't run the channel to make money. I run the channel because I love birds and I love bird keeping. Thank you everybody who has donated money. A massive and special thank you to Debbie Stout. Debbie, for all of your support, your questions, your help, your advice, your suggestions throughout the year. It's very much appreciated. And of course, our good friend down under, Michael Burling. Michael, at some stage I'm coming down under to visit you, and you can show me not just how to breed chucks now. I believe Indy Rose has got some chucks, but also how to train dogs. So Michael, as well as being a huge supporter of the show, is a massive dog trainer. I don't know why I've said a massive dog trainer, but Michael's an award-winning dog trainer. A huge thanks to Dave Coughlin as well for his contributions. And Matt Finch, a.k.a. Paul Gilchrist, or should that be Paul Gilchrist, a.k.a. Matt Finch. My thanks to Keith Ferry. My thanks to everybody who has watched the show, everybody who has subscribed to the show. From my family to yours, a safe, a peaceful, a restful and enjoyable Christmas, and fingers crossed for a very much better new year. Until next time, everyone, take care.